going to post out and share this post. I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm going to do some tarot reads, so I'm going to share a lot of this post with a few other people. If anybody has a question, if you could share out too, let me know what your question is, how you guys are doing, how the energy you're feeling. As I have them filter in, if you hear any background noises, there are other people, there are other beings that are around. There's a dog named Karma here as well. Alright, so let me share it to a few other places, a few other people. And like I said, welcome you guys. Let's see. I know a lot of people, I don't know how your weekend's been, if you've been busy or whatnot, what you guys have going on. I'm going to also share into my own stuff here. Just back up for a minute. I'm going to share to a couple groups as well. Looking at my phone. Alright. If you know anybody that wants to hear any of the messages going on today, let me know. Not sure who else. Let's see. Had an awesome meet and greet with the lovely Kitty Vibes and Cyber Monkey yesterday. Now, along with the readings I do, there's a lot of art that I also do as well. And there is some sublimations I do. You can see some of the art here. So I do, mostly it's art and stuff. I do arts and prints. I'm going to try to do lives like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, tentatively. I may do it on other platforms. I'm also on YouTube as well. But may actually host even an intuitive art session. Those things are all within range of what we could do. And go from there. But again, each of us is also beings, so we're kind of very much walking in our own space, right? So as life goes on, sometimes these things don't get always recorded at much time, right? At the same time, so we can make a commitment to do so, or at least a plan or a tentative plan to do so, but sometimes it doesn't always come to fruition, right? Life is a state of being as well, so creativity is also a state of being. Some people think that creativity is a talent to be like, to do an artist, or it's a state of being, right? To be creative. Alright, so I shared to a few places right now. I'm seeing where else I could share out to. I know a lot of people are been a little bit busy, like I said, so my own notification for my own live just came across as well. I'll do a collective read for now as we get going. And see who else wants to pop in. I'm not sure where else to post as well. Again, if anybody else has, like, because I'd love to, and I've been trying to post on here from your business page as well. If you guys want to jump in and do that as well, you can, again, post your thoughts on here. I have a few people that are helping run this page as well, so it's much more of a business than a business, as some good friends would say. Alright, says there's still one in. I don't know who's watching. I myself just clicked on it. So, alright, I'm going to start with a collective read. This may go for up to an hour. I'm going to try to do them a little shorter because a lot of this is going to be re-uploaded onto YouTube anyway. So if you want to go back and check, you may be able to go back and check. So these readings are timeless. You can click on them at any point in time. Let me know if you could hear me very well. I could also adjust the mic. I have it on me, and I can also adjust how much you can hear if it's too soft. I have the sensitivity on the software of the music turned down so that you're not picking up all the background stuff as well. Any other background stuff, background noise or anything, which you'll still hear with some background stuff anyway. Alright. I know it's also middle day. I'm going to try different points of the day. I might even do more in evenings. A lot of people are in the evenings, but I also know that there are some people that are in they're on different time zones. There are people seeing this across the globe, so they're not always in the same time zone as us. There's a few friends on here. Here's one. I also know sometimes I don't feel like, one of the biggest things is being glued to glued to the computer, right? Glued to a platform, which is not always where we always want to be. There's a lot of other things we could be doing, even just the creative part. So again, I'll try doing more videos with art in it. Alright, so I'm going to start with a collective read while people try to filter in or come in and let me know how things are going. And here goes, just 2 cards pop out. So I have the Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles. These are things that the collective is going through at the moment. So this is Hiei and Ahua Kin. So very much shamans here. And this transformation energy. So a Knight of Wands is usually a messenger, right? A Knight of Wands Wands are more at this compassionate side. It's also your domestic affairs, your house, right? Your heart even. Wands even being indicative of what kind of magic you're manifesting into your life, right? How are you taking that source energy and bringing it in? So you have this messenger, this wand, this new endeavor, this new path and blissness, this new transformation. You have all the animals that are in here as well. We also have the King of Pentacles. So we're talking about a masculine figure, but we're talking about this more of you being in control of, and it doesn't have to be just money. It can be in a financial system, but being in control of the heart space, the abundance coming in, but also sitting in it, right? Reveling in your abundance, that which you have. So, and it was just part of a conversation I had where when you embody and feel the abundance in your heart, those things that you were looking for that you may have been trying to use monetary system for, it may not, that's just the middle ground. These things will just gravitate towards you. You may get them without having to go through that branch or avenue, right? So when you already know that your abundance is in your heart, these things will come out and manifest into your space, right? The abundance reflects back. That is the nature of the environment that which we are in. Like I said, I don't know if it's lagging anywhere. I don't know the sound quality, so when you pop in and say hi, you can do a read. Right now I'm in a collective read, and I just had 2 cards pop out. So we have this creative energy, this determination, pursuing desires, focus, and intuitive or initiative, right? Intuition even on this. So all life is germinating into a peaceful force of energy. Butterflies, dragonflies symbolize the soul and the potential for rebirth and resurrection. Old patterns of behavior and stagnation can be broken if one ponders the powers of small creatures, smaller ones, right? The smaller detail in it, right? The fireflies symbolize passion and desire to persevere. The turtle is symbolic of strength and determination. Bees are industrious and orderly and are reminders of the importance to remain focused on tasks at hand. Fish and frogs are fecund and offer a pathway to cleansing and renewal. Spiders are weavers of destiny. Their intricate webs are, and I'll hold this up, reminders of the uniqueness of each life. Birds help to elevate our thinking, thus engaging us in a more spiritual mindset. The illuminated stars are beacons for creative inspiration and deep desires. So you have this, we have He, and it's an aboriginal goddess of creation. She emerged from a dream-time sleep and illuminated the earth with her opening eyes. She proceeded to walk the earthly terrain. As she did so, greenery sprouted from her footsteps. She walked all over until foliage dominated her pathways. She wanted to animate life and descended to the underworld, where they encountered evil spirits. The evil spirits tried to subdue her with song, but the strength of the warm goddess defeated their dark nature. Instead, all manners of life began to evolve under the illuminating power of the goddess's presence. Insects stirred to life. Butterflies, dragonflies, bees, and all manners of tiny creatures began to dance amid the warm rays of Ye's nourishing light. When she then shone upon dark caves and crevices of the world, and fishes, birds, lizards, amphibians, and all the animals began to reveal their presence. She then blessed them with the promise of seasons and the knowledge that their lives would continue in her celestial domains once they outlived their mortal shells. Her orb of light descended into the horizon, and darkness prevailed. The new inhabitants fell asleep, and until the light of dawn woke them once again, sadness began to pervade the bliss, and creatures expressed their desire to become more mobile. Some creatures wanted wings, others wanted legs, some wanted to writhe or wriggle. Ye gave them the resources they desired. She then turned their energy towards creating human beings. The first created a man and then a woman from a flower, and together the man and the woman became companions. Ye's power of light allowed her to create all manners of new life. If we learn to harness our own light, we can become more powerful thinkers and creators. Even the most mundane chores or activities can become creative tasks if we adjust our thinking and live a life invested with positive energy. So, and I was holding it a little off. But again, Ye's energy is a reminder, and with this mythology, these actually are tied together with common thread mythologies, right? A lot of the Gnostic teachings, you have this Sophia, Pistis Sophia. It's in some of the Christian teaching as well, but again, it's the light that emanates, the soul that is reborn, that's given life, right? Even the nourishing of Mother Earth, right? We have this between the mortal shell and the eternity of the actual spiritual shell, right? Spirit is forever. The transitions between each form is the perspective we are living in, we're living through. So I have Ahuakin. This is your King of Pentacles. And it actually should be right after. Here we go. Right after. Material and business success, plans for the future. So as we are putting our creative forces out into the world, this material and business success, plans for future, as I said, so as within, so without. So as your light is coming out of you, as you're manifesting it out, as this creative energy comes in, this fires of creative energy, where this passion comes out, this is where it actually manifests out into our 3D world and comes back. So the tree roots serve as a bridge between the ego-driven subconscious and the more collective elements of the unconscious psyche, right? A lot of us have these deep roots of ego. It's what sometimes causes a lot of suffering in this world. So this is talking about more of this sharing energy. So this is a Mayan sun god who's connected to both the daytime above world and the nocturnal underworld. Once the sun sank to the horizon, Ahukin assumed the shape of a jaguar and roamed the nocturnal landscape. His markings are symbol of his connectedness with the divine cat. During the day, he would transform back into his human appearance. The sun god would cause human suffering by burning crops during times of drought. So the jaguar was considered to be one of the most sacred animals in the Mayan culture. Its countenance was carved into some temples and is a means of honoring the god. So think about what life is, life that we're living through, right? People are saying, okay, we're suffering through a lot of things, right? Your ego, the subconscious part of this. So the reason, and one of the reasons that people suffer and their ego suffers, is we build our ego identity around the material world around us, right? Or we have attachments inside of it. So this is saying this more of the detaching, right? From the attachment of the 3D world that we're going into. So it's talking about, in a way, flowing through life, right? If we don't build our identity around the 3D materials that we acquired, or even the things we create, I mean, I paint, but that is just an expression of the state of being for me, right? It is not the entirety of myself, and we are souls here, transgrowing through, transgressing through, and transitioning through, right? So, excuse me, a lot of words again. So, it's a way to change. So that's where we get the butterfly from with Yi. And we have Ahukin, which is actually the sun again. So this light, you have light that's pervading through on each one. Even the travel through the underworld. Both of them are actually cards that are seeing us, right? One is more talking about the outward 3D material, and one is talking about the spiritual light that actually comes into this world. So again, if you're not familiar with the concept of Maitri, right, the friendliness, right, the part of this that is actually the compassionate part of the human soul here, and what is taught when it opens your heart, right? Your heart being the place that is the balance space between what your mind is viewing and your body's going through, and then where your compassion comes from to, again, act in the most human way, the humanity side, right? The side that gives us passion's light, right? And a way to want to connect. We are never disconnected in a way. We can detach, meaning you have a detached mind from it. You don't attach to what is physical in this world, right? You don't attach to us. We see these current systems going up, but more of this, we detach from it building into our ego, our being, our state of being, right? So these two cards popped out. I'm going to do one more. We're going to do one more from the same deck, and then we'll go from there. I'm not certain how many people are in or who's watching right now because it's not updating on here. If anybody's on, say hi. I'm not sure who's watching. If you want to share out, if you don't have time, I get it. This will be reposted again on YouTube. And I may actually try doing YouTube lives and posting the link for it here and seeing how that goes. I have a YouTube channel as well, which will be redone. I'm attached to inner peace. Well, what happens then if your inner peace is disturbed? Of course, if you are the inner peace, you're never detached from it, right? So never even just saying it attached to it, it's a state of being. So there's a difference. But again, when people personify it, make it into material or something they have to grasp from the outside world to attain peace, like the outside, we look for the material outside to validate your existence or experience, then yeah, nobody should disturb your inner peace. Don't be inside my temple. No, no, no. That's my boundary temple, right? Wash your feet at my steps before you come in. Alright, let's see if I can get a card to pop out. If not, I'll cut it. Oh, just lost all of them here. It's interesting enough, Becky, that nobody is around to disturb my inner peace. No. It's interesting that in one of the card reads the other day that the coyote showed up, but it was the embark on a journey. I think it was the 8/8 portal day, so nobody's around to disturb your inner peace. Well then, if you're in the void of creation by yourself, you can create whatever you want, right? You told me. I know, I do remember. Oh, okay, so we have two cards. We're going to do two of them. Trying to see if they'll just pop out. Alright, two more cards for what Spirit is going through, what we're going through in these times as if future potential. So we have two of them. So we have the Two of Pentacles, which is the panda. We actually have this one's upside down, a Six of Cups, and it's carp. So we have panda and carp on here. And again, it's the potentiality, and I'm going to look at this as the inside and the outside, because again, one of these cards was talking about inner light and inner creativity, and the other one was talking about shining the light on the 3D, but also Jaguar card, right? Mayan god here, the sun god here. Also the endeavor into our 3D space with the abundance in our heart. How is that actually manifesting into our space? Whoever came in, welcome, and I'm doing a collective read, and if you have or want a card read or you have a question, you can put it in the comments. If you want to share this out, it would be great. You can share it with more people. So the belief that Coyote is always sending us on a journey because he is always teaching or showing us something we will find useful later on our journeys. True, and that's often why I say, people say, oh, they get attached and I'm getting a detour, I'm off track. You're really never off track. You can if you're walking on a path, it's me, if you're walking on a path, the detours are often where the growth happens because we go outside of the beaten path, right? The one that we want to be on, but yet Spirit has other ways of showing us. I'm going to go into read what these particular have to say. Here's the Two of Pentacles. We're talking about an endeavor, though, to think of inside your heart, outside, right? Balancing between two choices. So two choices. Deliberate change, yin and yang. The panda is climbing an old tree, trying to reach some bamboo shoots growing in its midst. So the tree begins to lean, and the animals must decide whether to continue on its quest for the bamboo or retreat to the safety of the forest floor. So again, going on a journey, right? So you're talking about this, a journey out somewhere else, and it's always teaching. Everything is an observable moment, right? We can be learning from everything that we go through, any moment that we're in, without attaching to an outcome and expectation, but going, okay, so what did I learn here, right? Did I learn that maybe I didn't communicate correctly and it can cause some inconsistency or misunderstanding, right? It is perched between two pentacles that are carved in the bark. So it's proceeding with caution on these choices. It's also, there may be more than the choices being presented. So we have, again, we have Six of Cups upside down, right? Sometimes, a lot of times, we get the left and the right paradigm, right? The yin and yang, black or white, right? Just because there's two choices being presented doesn't mean there's more choices that we're not seeing. So it's always, okay, again, look for the truth. Just because somebody says they believe this and that's it, don't just take the word for it. Do the research, look for the truth. If you're not sure, tell somebody you're not sure and say, but I'm going to go find out. Is there really a right and a wrong? No way to communicate. Well, yes, there is. There is. It all comes down to perspective. There is a wrong way to communicate because, and I'll say this because if I say nothing, then it's not communicating, is it not? Okay, so the Six of Cups. Although not saying an answer is also an answer. I have a carp, so a respite, a time of renewal and pleasure after overcoming a period of emotional insecurity and challenges. Now it's upside down, so we're talking about this. We're talking about a period of emotional insecurity and challenges. So the surface and carp symbolize emotional renewal after filtering muddy waters of confusion. It is putting into a karmic balance, right? So if we're going to choose between yin or yang, or if you're going to be put in the choice of duality, because that's what this card is ultimately saying is duality, not dharma, but duality itself, karma, then you go through the learning process. It doesn't always have to be a muddy process, but you learn something, whether it be emotion about yourself or the way you operate or habit. It is a process of going through this learning process. This is for collective. It is going through a learning process. And to be honest, it feels like a lot of us that have been on this path, we may still be purging things out. Or kind of in a way had a little bit more of a smoother ride. Some of us did. And so what we see is a lot of the world, the 3D space, is going through this roller coaster ride of rapid changing because they have the opportunity to take the lessons that they had over and over again and they refuse to, in which case they are ignorantly in bliss, but it's hurting other people, right? Ignorance is bliss only to the ignorant. But if you're one of the people on the outside of this going, you're hurting somebody, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting other people, therefore you have an opportunity to change and you're not taking it, the universe will put you on that path to actually see yourself. And we'll do it on a collective scale. Wouldn't silence be communicating because you can read somebody's vibration or facial expression? Yes. Read the room? Yes. As the past tense of red, like the color, red, read red, yes. So yes, but there can be a wrong way and a way of, well, like you said, it's perception. You can say something that is true. You can hold up, and I had this conversation the other day, you can be holding up this card, and it's just a designated piece of paper. You're giving it to somebody, right? But somebody else can take this completely out of context or throw extra context into it, in which case now you're overcomplicating something. You're taking it in the context of the way you're perceiving it, and so therefore you're also putting a negative spin on it, right? You can put a positive spin on it. This one talking about positivity even in here, and a lot of these other ones we're talking about a positive change. So if you want to flip the Six of Cups and not go through the muddy waters, change the perspective. Yes, you can only read it as clearly as you are healed. If you haven't seen the video I posted today, the little short, it talks about we are our own saviors, right? We are here in the healing of ourselves. And when we cross these shores to go through these healing waters, that is when we understand that our state of being is actually, we've had it all along. It was, why are we adding extra into it? This is a positive day for the cards. I don't know, let me ask the cards, right? The cards are an inanimate object, but again, up to perception. Somebody else could take that reading right now and take it completely negative, that they're going to go through karmic waters, oh my god, right? Horrible waters that we're going to go through in my creative self, and even the sun god, who was responsible for human suffering, at least was held responsible because he caused the trees and plants to burn. But is that human suffering, or is that the cyclical life of things, right? Are these things, in a way, being burnt by the sun? And we can also be looking at this in collective if we have a lot of sun flares coming in, being burnt by the sun, right? Is it clearing the way? Is it causing new growth to happen? Maybe it's burning away all the stuff that is old. So is it suffering in a way? Depends on how you view it. For one person, their suffering may be the fact that they lack certain monetary values or possessions or materials, again, attachment, ego attachment to the material world, and that is their suffering, whereas somebody else can be like completely free because they have nothing. They have nothing to be responsible for, nothing to be attached to. Yes, burning away is a rebirth. I've actually wished somebody a happy rebirth today. I wasn't sure if it was yesterday, tomorrow, or today, but I wished them a rebirthday anyway. It was not posted on their link, so, or on their page anywhere, so I wish them a rebirthday. I believe it's our wizard friend Kenneth. So, okay, whoever has jumped in, it looked like Christine jumped in for a little bit, and then maybe jumped out. I don't know. I can do a read if somebody wants me to pull a card for it. I do like the chalk, yes, like the phoenix. I like the talks. These are relevant talks. Because again, this will be uploaded and posted later on YouTube. So whoever's coming back to watch this is going to see it anyway. I may actually not go as long. I'm trying to keep them around an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Half an hour is good. This has already been going for 27 minutes, so. Alright, always welcome to put a pull card for you. I am going to pull two. I'm holding this one, but I have a different deck, and I haven't taken it out of the box yet, and it was a borrowed deck, so I'm going to take this one out, because I believe this would be a good message for you as well. I didn't pull it out, but as you asked, I was like, wait a second. Okay, so we're going to do one from this, from the Akashic. Pick a card, any card, yep, any card. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Only chocolate is sometimes better than a card because it tastes better. So, I mean, if we're assigning value to something, but again, if you're looking for a card, chocolate might not be the answer. Pop it out. Alright, this one's for you, Gary. I have it upside down. I have a message in the making, Archangel Gabriel. So we have communication. We are also in what people are calling Mercury retrograde. I don't particularly follow a lot of the astrological stuff because, again, unless you're up there in space, you're actually viewing it. How do you actually know that it's even real? It could be a belief system that is in the matrix system reality that we're in. Okay, Forrest. Didn't run yet, right? Okay, so we have Archangel Gabriel. It's upside down. Wrong book. I'm going to read it from the book for you. But again, it's a message coming in from the other side, but also a message in the 3D. It is coming through in a way of, and it's 3D, so this is coming from the other side, meaning it's upside down, right? We have 33 on here. It's an aligned message, Gabriel. It can also be a person, Gabriel, so it is reversed, meaning that it's coming from across from the other side in a way. So in the reverse, it indicates that you may be having a difficult time where communication is concerned. I still, in the way I'm seeing this, communication hasn't come in to you yet. Because I don't find this in your being. You're not speaking out for yourself, or you're filling your own mind with negative words. I don't see that coming in for you, Gary. I feel that other people around you may be in that. So Gabriel is a powerful force that can bring divine love and courage to your expression, and this helps yours for it helps it, and his help is yours for the asking. So I think this is more about the confident side of you, right? Don't be so shy and it, just be more outgoing. And I find that you've already been doing this. But I also, like I said, he's a friend of your soul throughout the history of the Akashic records. This is also a person close to you. So this time of confusion or disruption in communication is a perfect opportunity to reawaken yourself to the profound friendship and to your worthiness and power to express yourself and speak your truth. Um, Saying even a way meditative, right? So meditating on Gabriel's loving presence and start getting comfortable hearing your own positive and powerful voice. It's time to speak up, not shut up. So again, this is the time to actually start speaking up in your space a little bit more, what you see, what you know. There may be people again around you that are trapped in these other loops, these misconceptions, even communication, even the platforms, because we've had a conversation on this as well. The platforms that are being in use. Not many people know that what is kind of going on even on this platform, on many other platforms that are being in use, right? They don't know the state of being. This is where your inner knowledge is coming out to shine, your wisdom, right? But also your confidence in it. You already have the knowledge, you already have the wisdom. We've already been through the gauntlet in a way, and a lot of people are going through this gauntlet. So this is your spiritual side of you coming in, right, into the 3D. Instead of you so much worrying about what goes on in the 3D or other people, which I sometimes, it's like you easily get caught up into things. This is in a way saying that, you know what, just step in your spiritual self. So the card I have from this other deck, self-awareness is key. Take time to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate, listen to your favorite music, whatever you enjoy most. Do that today. So that would be a message for Gary. So Gary, you might want to jump off the live and go meditate, because that's what it said. Or he can walk. But Jenny, I love you. Oh God, I just watched Forrest Gump yesterday. It must be on the wavelength, Bucky. I have a feeling if you pulled a card for me, it would be Coyote. Okay, so we could do that. It's funny because Archangel Gabriel is Thoth, which is Hermes, which sometimes can be Loki, the trickster, as well. So again, you're talking about trickster, Coyote card, right? Okay, so this one for Gary. He's still in here, and unless he just skedaddled and went and did a meditative read, right? This also pertains to, because a lot of the people that are in this chat, we are here and responsible for collective. So this pertains to a lot of the collective right now. That maybe a message is coming in, especially from Gabriel, from Hermes, right? He told me, yes, I know, yes, Rosie, thank you, Bucky, I know. I'll go for a walk, lol. I basically kicked him out of my own life. Bye, Gary. Much love to you. You may find the answer your soul is seeking today and being outside for a walk. And I'm going to say I'm going to probably join you after this live, because I'd like to go paint outside as well. Like the Who's important, here's a Who. You know, I've never actually read or saw that movie. We are here, we are here. Enjoy the small things. Yeah, right? I know, I never saw that movie. Or book. Never read the book. Dr. Seuss, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to throw a card out for Brookie and see what kind of... Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Confident in yourself? I'm going to throw a card for Bucky, which will also be connected to the collective that Bucky is also connected to, as we all are in here, whoever jumps in. It'd be funny if Coyote did pop out. I literally just saw it shuffle through too. Coyote was just standing there, Fool card, right? Is the Fool card, meaning that he's actually one of the most freest cards in the deck right now, because he's not attached to it. Who? How have you not read Horton Here's a Whole Who? Here's a whole Who. Here's a whole Who. Who. Say that like 20 times fast, right? Okay. I haven't. I can understand a little bit of the snippets of the context of it, but I haven't. Just like, what was the other one? SpongeBob. I have never actually watched any of that whatsoever. Oh. Clearly a different collective I'm Connected too. Okay. Saw thunderbirds in here too. The thunderbirds. There's one. I'm going to cut it and actually draw one too. So I'm going to draw another one, right? Guess you missed the panty raid on Sponge. Oh god, yes I have. I have the hermit card on the bottom. This is Serenunus, which would be the Celtic shaman god with the antlers, right? I believe he's holding a pentacle too, so he's got abundance. Alright, we have the chameleon upside down. And if anybody knows Bucky at all, that's kind of funny, right? The opposite of the chameleon. And I have the heron, the Ten of Swords, which is upside down as well. So I have 5 of Wands upside down, and I have the 10 of Wands upside down. I have the chameleon, which is more flexibility, and it's upside down in this particular card. And we're going to go right into the 5 of Wands, of Swords, Pentacles, blah, blah, blah. There we go. 5 of Wands. So frustration, conflict in relationships, and displaced energy. But because it's the opposite of what we're seeing, you're actually seeing cohesiveness in a relationship. You're seeing energy being returned back to you, not displaced. And instead of frustration, we're actually seeing more of this balance coming in with the way that we're flowing. I know it had to be the chameleon, right? The chameleon clings to its branch in a state of confusion. So instead of being confused, you're getting clarity, right? We're not having all these myriad of colors coming in. You're actually beginning more balance. It looks in several directions, simultaneously desperately seeking a way to break its paralysis. You're not in a moment of paralysis. You're in a moment of purpose. I'm just letting go. I'm just letting go when it comes to relationships. That's probably the best way to do this, is just at this point, because to be honest, when I just started to let go, that's when things started to come and knock at my door, and I was like, what is going on here? So it says there's a need to channel energy in a more focused manner. It's already being done, right? It's already putting that into yourself, into your space, into your purpose, into your steps. Maybe encountering interference from an outside parties as a result of engaging in negative relationships. So it may be necessary to break free from negative influencers, people, and means of re-engaging in future creative endeavors. So instead of being involved in other people's spinning out of control karmic relationships, different flavors, colors, you're more of, yeah, okay, I'm just going to stand here and you guys can just spin in your confusion, basically. So the 10 of Swords, which is upside down heron, which would be a new beginning but a completion as well. And it's reversed. Normally swords are very swift moving. They can be very demanding energy. So this is potential issues surrounding financial well-being, a cycle of insecurity and disappointments. So because you have taken the seat out of other people's karmic toilet bowl flesh, you are, instead of having issues surrounding financial well-being, you are having the abundance returned to you. You're not in a cycle of insecurity and disappointments. You're now into the security and to the actual holding your own space, your stability. So life is full of ups and downs and endless challenges. You may be facing financial or emotional hardships. So that period has ended because it's upside down. A period of instability and despair. Not anymore. It's again, you're going into stable ground, right? The heron attempts to balance on an endless rotation of swords. So instead of balancing on an endless rotation of swords, it's very stable. The heron is standing, right? Standing very stable in the water. There's none of this flushing around you. Especially economically, we kind of know what's going on there. That's the old system way, right? The old system, the old way of, well, it would be a new way in a way, but again, it's an old system ending. It is crumbling, right? The old economy is crumbling. We're going back to the older traditional shaman ways. We're actually going back to ways of living which are more harmonious with the world. So as all cycles have conflict, if you take a proactive stance and confront your fears, don't really know what you fear, but you don't think you fear much of anything, with resolve, you will eventually prevail and overcome tremendous obstacles. You're already on that, right? Mentally, yes. Yes. So again, after pushing ourselves out of that, we're getting out of that stance, we're getting out of somebody else's cycle, of somebody else's toilet bowl flush. I'm going to draw one of these as well, ones that I did for Gary. These cards are called Spirit Messages Oracle cards. It's a borrowed deck from Kalia. So again, you're standing in yourself, stability. The heron's standing in the middle of this. Everything else can go around you. It doesn't matter, right? See if I can get a card out of here. So let them, in a way, play their story out. Toilet bowl flush. It is a toilet bowl. It's like a toilet bowl flush, right? They're kind of just doing it themselves. There's a card sticking out, so I'm going to take this one. Alright, don't allow negative emotions to fester if you are feeling frustrated. Angry or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. So, I feel that there's been a lot of relationships have gone through, whether that even just be intimate or personal, familial, and because they project their problems or come to you for answers, that you're frustrated because they expect or have an expectation of you, which is not unconditional love. Another one kind of like fell out too, so I'll read that too. Again, this hurt because of not acknowledging, all the anger comes in, it's just kind of sitting there, right? So this is saying whatever you're speaking, whatever that you put out right now, whatever voice that you have when you speak your voice, it is already righteous. We've already been through their gauntlet in a way. So healing comes when we let it go instead of holding on to somebody else's crap that is going down the toilet bowl. So you are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. You have been praying for things to heal, new opportunities to appear, relationships to improve, and these prayers will be answered soon. So ask and ye shall receive. Whether you pray or not, that is, again, asking your inner self. A lot of people put their energy outside themselves and pray for something outside themselves, and a lot of people ask universe. A lot of people come and do that spirit walk or spirit journey and go in within. Nobody takes advice when you give it to them, so just stop speaking. Just let them go around the toilet. Yeah, we're getting out of that bowl. We're not going to go in it, right? Don't let your dog drink out of the toilet bowl either. So, you don't want. Karma's been trying to drink out of the toilet bowl sometimes, so it's not really good. Okay, so that one's for Bucky. Since we have 5 people in, I'm not sure who the other 3 are. One of them is me. So, whoever had come in, if you guys want a card, let me know. This was for Bucky. I did do a collective read in the beginning. I've been going for about 42 minutes. I said I would do these for maybe about an hour, unless other people jumped in. Maybe half an hour. I'm going to upload and repost this onto YouTube. I may also potentially in future actually do a YouTube live and just post the link here. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to try to do lives every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is me for Anastasia S. And for some reason your comment was hidden, so I'll unhide it on here. Hello. Hello, if you want to read, let me know for Anastasia. If you want to share out, you can share with other people, that's fine too. I mean, it can pick up on what Anastasia has some emotions right now. Alright, we'll go with the elemental deck. If, like I said, you got a question, let me know. If you want a general, let me know. If you need a general reading. I did share this with a few other people. I know it's been Monday, so. Alright. I will put, if you have a question for Anastasia, if you have a question, you can ask. If not, I will, I'll just pull card. It'll be general and see what the cards say. I have an elemental deck, so it gives me the elemental energy surrounding your space. None of the people I talk to would understand this. Yes, there's a level, they're all too lost. There's a level of people that are, they're in this cognitive dissonance in a way. They're not taking a step up into themselves. They're kind of giving power out to other people. So when you talk to them, it's almost like an NPC. They're not able to grasp what you're saying. And it may say it in many different ways, they're just not able to grasp it. So a general reading for Anastasia. Alright, so I'm going to do a general card for Anastasia. I don't see her comments, his or her comments coming up on the, it's not coming up on the feed right now, at least on my phone. It is on here on my comment section on my dashboard though, so. Alright. Right now I feel that you have some emotions that almost feels like a little bit of regret, curiosity. I don't see it in the comments. Yeah, on my phone I don't. And I see it on the dashboard, and when I click unhide, it doesn't do it on the, maybe if you refresh the live on your phone, but it won't, it hasn't come up yet, so on the phone anyway. It was something that you wanted to start and interact with people, and there's a little bit of apprehensive because of track record. This is one just picking up in general from Anastasia. If this is correct, if it's valid, you can let me know in the comment. Yes, as long as I can see it. It may just be a fictional person, right? A figment of my imagination. Either way, spirit is asking for a reading, so give a reading. Oh God, stop that fucking. No, I'm not saying that. Is it, okay, but if it howls, are you asking for it to howl on me? I mean, that's, you can go outside and have it howl. Actually, I don't mind it howling, as long as it's not big, huge chunks that are smacking me in the face. Okay, so I had 2 cards jump out, just for Anastasia. I have purity, ice, and I have silence, snow. So I have it that you've been very in a quiet space, very quiet, right? It's also 33. So 33 is this purity, ice. Your soul part is kind of in this ice place underneath, right? You are already standing in your own power. It's 33, right? 33 is a master number. It's talking about balance in your life, your 3D life, your spiritual mind, body, soul. This purity and ice is talking about you maybe hiding things from yourself, hiding things from other people, that because if you're not being your authentic self, then other people aren't seeing it, right? But I have this almost kind of bit of a fear because in the past it feels that when you've done and said something to someone, they've judged harshly or they've jumped to a conclusion. And anybody who's judging, you really don't have a right to judge anybody else. You can, but you don't have the actual right to, because you're not walking in their shoes. You haven't walked their path. We can sit here and I can tell you my whole life story. You can see it on an Akashic record, whatever. But because you're still not the consciousness that is myself, you wouldn't know, you don't know how I would react or another person would. That would be the individual experience. Once you connect to the all, to the collective, that's the 33 part. Now you're starting to see the collective experience, right? You're starting to feel it around you and go through this purification. It's not as stagnant, so I see like the quiet, so 34, and I did shuffle the crap out of these cards, right? So this is 7, 34, 3 plus 4 is 7, so your chakras. Silence and snow. So I feel like a little bit of isolation right now. You're hiding yourself from yourself, right? Like I was saying, but you're hiding it from other people. And if you don't speak your truth and put out there what you want to say, again, your existence, your being, because you're allowed to be here, then a lot of this, the collective itself, doesn't go through the collective healing. Each of us, when we heal ourselves on our own journey, we're actually healing the collective too, because we are coming into this authenticity and standing in ourselves, healing aspects of ourselves, healing the trauma that we've gone through, which many of other people have gone through similar traumas. So therefore, if we're not willing to speak up about it or speak and stand in ourselves, other people will not get that knowledge that they may, again, it may unlock them to take this journey, just as Becky was talking about, talking to people and they're kind of lost, right? So this is bringing your guidance and knowledge into it. Where your pain has been is also, your suffering has also been where the healing starts. Okay, so what you said about smacking you in the face, you said that, what about the hail smacking me in the face? Isn't judging putting limitations on one? It is. It's putting a limitation on someone else. If we find that a person is limited because they're limiting themselves, that's also a different thing. Don't This is saying don't limit yourself, right? Um, Speak, talk, be. If you want to do the thing that is your passion, right? Like I said, for me, it's painting. So, and it's not the only thing. There's other things that equate to being passionate, right? Creativity is a state of being. So it's not a talent in a way. It's not a competition. I'm not here competing with anyone else. The outside world puts you in competition. The system that is crumbling that we see around us, the fake stuff, that puts you in competition. It puts you in survival mode. It puts you in fight or flight. It actually brings you down to the animalistic side and not the human heart compassion side of this. So this is saying this healing in a way has taken place, right? 33 of the alignment. I have 2 of these that popped out as well. And you have 34, which is your 7 chakras. And it's very silent snow, but you're very high resonance, the energy. So the energy is very high ringing, like when you hear the white noise, it's very high ringing, it's very static. So you have this energy that's very high, right? And we can be, again, as we go through our daily lives, that energy it goes, right? We are creating. Don't self-judge, don't self-doubt. You have profound connection to your higher self, source, right? Spirit. So this purity has already come through, this purification, this healing. There are people with open hearts. There are people who have gone through healing processes. Each of us did. None of us, we're exempt from the pain, the suffering, the trauma. Sometimes we didn't even know we're going through trauma. So you don't know until you self-reflect or self-aware. So I'm going to read these 2, but I'm going to read Bucky's comment first. So if this makes sense for you, Anastasia, just let me know. I think of all the things we go through in life as things we pull in a little red wagon. So there are always things in your little red wagon that can help someone else with what they're going through. Yes, that's a great way to explain the little red wagon analogy. For myself, it's the library, right? It's like a computer. So there's files saved. They're not things that are causing heaviness. It can, if you allow them to cause you heaviness, the attachment even to the memory, the past. We can file it away though, and then if somebody else requires that piece of knowledge, you pull up the tab, right? You pull up the file tab and go, all right, I know here I've had this experience, so I know this somehow relates with what somebody else is talking about. So how is it that what's inside my little red wagon, what's inside my tab, my library, that can help somebody else, right? Because that little key, that little seed may be helping somebody else unlock. So I'm going to give you the last 2 cards for Anastasia. I'm welcoming, it looks like Carol popped in and Michelle popped. Hello, and welcome. Yes, I'm becoming more regular again. I'm going to do these every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, or at least try to, and may post on YouTube. They will get re-uploaded onto YouTube. You can go back and re-watch this again if you're not on this platform. So for Anastasia, if you pay close attention, you will notice the doors that once closed are opening up, just in different form. Things may not appear exactly as you had envisioned. So again, that would be the expectation part, right? It may not come in the way we envisioned it, but it does come in, right? The abundance comes back in. And I feel like there's been this rocky, this emotional space for you, Anastasia. It's been this very much trying to open your heart with, but afraid of the vulnerability. Know that you already have the abundance in you. The source spirit is already inside of you. So once you already know that in your heart, once that comes out of you, that light comes out, all those things that we think that we lost actually comes back. It's returned. It returns whether it's in a different form, but that door does open. It will open again. It does. So learn to ride the waves of life when faced with difficult times. You can either fight against the current or go with it. So ask yourself, what is to be gained by depleting your energy fighting against it? Don't do that to yourself, right? So don't fight yourself on this. Don't hide yourself. It's okay to open up now. It's okay to be you. If somebody else has a judgment, it's their limited perspective in a way, right? And they're trying to limit a person. be you. And if it's not, this is the whole thing of belief versus truth. We can believe our own stuff and it can believe our own BS in a way, right? Or we can notice our own strengths, and we can also empower those in other people, right? By being us, by being ourselves, regardless of how we feel. If some, I don't put anybody on a pedestal. I don't put myself on a pedestal. We're walking through this all together at whatever level of perspective that we're in. So everything and every person, everything has a purpose. Every person is important here. Everything here is important. Just keep swimming. Yes. All right. So if that makes sense for you, Anastasia, let me know. Thank you for allowing to ask questions. Did feel a lot of your energy, very high energy. Don't sit down and shut up. It's time to open up, right? The healing is taking place. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Okay. Welcome, Carol, and anybody else that popped in. If you'd like a card, I'm going to go for a few more minutes. I was trying to keep them under a bit, but I noticed more people filtered in throughout the day. I have no idea what time it is. It's 1:44. Keep seeing that number, 11:44 and 1:44. It keeps popping up. So, Carol, if you'd like a card, or anybody else that popped in, let me know. If you want to share on your page or share it to a group page or know any of that, that's fine. I still also do art. You also have the link for the art gallery in here if you want to just view art. I'm trying to make sure to, or be more active. I want to say trying. You have 11:45. Now it's 1:45. So I'm being more proactive on uploading some art maybe once or twice a week onto the art gallery, while also producing. You'll see here I have smaller ones in 3D space. The art gallery to view is free. You can go and view it for free because I find it important that art is to be viewed, right? And not to be kind of just, okay, well, you can buy it, that type mentality. I'm more of, why don't you just go see it, right? Go look at it. Tell me what you see. Comment on it. What do you feel about it? What do you find in it? You see a face in it. Somebody might see a face, see a different world. Again, your perspective, right? Who's working with me right now, Rose? Okay. Right now, you have one very powerful guide, very protective one. You also has, where do you find the written word to be art? Rose, do you find the written word to be art? The written word. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I said arc because as an arc, both in soul, but also in the sacred geometry, and 1111 being the balance. But the written word is art. So yes, poetry can come in. Your words can be art as well. They create pictures. Alright, so I feel like for Carol, you're getting two. You have two. You have a guide. Strong, kind of very strong. This is like direct your higher self source, right? It's just like right there on, right at your back, right there. I'm gonna use one from here, just because I'm shuffling it, and then I'm gonna pull from the Akashic Tarot, and I'll pull one from the message here, the soul messages, the spirit messages. Alright, here's one. I'm not gonna read them just yet. I'm gonna pull from them first. What is 11 and everyone losing their mind about it? So 1111. 11 being a master number, but also the balance between the spirit and logic part, the intuition and logic again, but also the light and the dark. It's also 4, right? So you're talking quantum space. You're also talking about 3D life and the spiritual mind, body, soul. So there's 4, spirit, mind, body, soul, though, as well. So again, spirit world is in 4D. You're also talking about 1111 also equals 22. This could be a master number as well, which is a master architect. It's building, right? It's also bringing balance into 2 or 3D space. You're balancing your being. You're balancing your balancing what you see in the outside world, the perception. So 1-1 being perception. And then your own energies, your polarity. So whether that be masculine, feminine, positive or negative, like light or dark, and there's nothing wrong with the dark. People get afraid of the dark because they don't know what's in the dark. I'm going to actually take this one, not the 5 that came out. And I'm going to do one from here, and I'm just going to cut the ones from here. These are for Carol. Just now I want to shuffle it this way. You actually have, it's funny because Carol, you have this, I want to say order. I keep getting this being going order, like justice order, like to make sure the energy you're putting into a situation is not bleeding out, to make sure somebody's not taking advantage of it, but it's also extension of to who you're also taking care of. It's also bringing in alignment, so it's allowing it to come, the order of operation, the way things flow in your space, your abundance to come in a manner in which it will be the correct, like orderly manner. And sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but it's the way that is the correct way to go on the path, right? We're not going to jump ahead to, we know the goal is maybe past the tree up there, but if we still have a few rocks or a stream to go over, jumping ahead sometimes, we'll miss things on that path. So this is bringing in the light and clarity for you. There's a song named 1111 that's pretty good. I'm going to listen to that after this. If you know the band name, let me know. Okay, so I have 38, 11. It's upside down. So this is the dark matter. This is the mystery part. Again, instead of it being a mystery or what's in the dark, 1111, we're talking about it coming into clarity. We're talking about the things done in the dark coming into the light. We're talking about the misbalance or misuse of this transformation energy actually being divine order. Yes, divine order. Carol asked, divine order. Yes. We're actually seeing the process of your soul stepping in, divine order, right? We're seeing it come into fruition. You're seeing this transformation come in the way that it is intended, the abundance coming in. No longer silenced. As see, the butterfly was on this woman's mouth. It is no longer stopping the transformation process. Mouth is open, right? The dark matter energy, which is actually the balancing part to light matter, antimatter to matter, is very much showing what is underneath. 1111 by Tyler Rick. All right, I'm gonna go and investigate. So caught in the runes. This is 16, which is 7. It's your balance, right? Your chakra. You're not caught in the rune. There are other people caught in this rune. They've tried to catch you and lock you in this space. But you're too clever for this, right? You're knowledgeable about this. You see all sides of this, and you're allowing spirit to again open that door. You're allowing spirit to, yes, I'm beginning to see what's being hidden. They're showing me. Your intuition is manifesting in a 3D space, and we don't have to push it now. Now it's just coming right in. It's like the rain falling earlier. Hopefully not hail on us. Thank you, Buggy. So, but it's coming in, right? It's actually manifesting in space. So everything that you spoke, even if you spoke it to somebody to bring them clarity and it wouldn't go through to them, Spirit's showing them. They're showing them from the outside, and all you kind of can do is, I say kind of can do, you can watch it. You can sit there and go, okay, yes, that's what I spoke on. But be the space that they're coming to, right? Because they're going to end up coming of, wait a second, you were right. Wait a second, this is correct, right? So you're not caught in their runes. You're not caught in a trap. It was the illusion of even other people around you that have been tried to be brought into this jail, this trap. They're also getting kind of in a way kicked out of it. They're turned it upside down and the top was open and it's spilling out now. So anything that was mistreated, anything that was misdone, Spirit is clarifying. It is clearing that air, clearing the way. It's bringing it to the light. It is bringing order into it. It is putting it into the perspective light of an all and not just individual perspectives. So the last card I have is We see that you are on the brink of a breakthrough that you have patiently waiting for, situation to come full circle. The lessons have been learned. This is a win-win situation for you. Trust that we are working behind the scenes to ensure the best outcome for you. So the cards just affirming that again, you are divine order. It is divinely done. It is bringing to light any injustice in the situation is being put to justice. If I were to think, if you were going to personify that type of energy, like Archangel Michael, Mot, which is the Egyptian goddess who is of order, the ordering in what we see by taking the perspective and making the scope huge so that you can see it, that maybe if we look really close at the fine details it looks completely chaotic, but if you take the perspective and take the person out of the individual and have them in a higher resonance or a bigger scope of view, we can actually see the entirety of it and in the way that it's coming into balance. So this is being done for you both behind the scene, it's also coming into the light, you're seeing it manifest in. The lessons have been learned. So this is a win-win for you. Think of that. So it may not look like it, but it's a winning situation for you, and it's coming in not just for you, but for the people around you, for the clarity, for the balance around you, for the people around you. If that makes sense. I'm not even sure what exactly you're going through. I know it's like we've been through this gauntlet, a lot of us, and we are now being centered into ourselves. A lot of things are coming into light. A lot of the way the world is shifting, collapsing. The teachers are taking their place, right? The ascended masters, there's many of them, that are here taking their space. They're bringing in the light. They're light holders, the grid workers. Each one of us are coming in to stand in our spots, right? And it's not a limiting spot. It is where we're in, whatever situation we are in, we're coming into it, into our role, if you want to say, but it's not something that's limiting. It's not like one role, like somebody just plays the Joker and that's it, they're the Joker. We are all of them, right? We're every experience, so we're here to help teach people. So, okay, I knew it, I felt it, I'm seeing the dark intentions with you know who. Okay, so yes, so you're seeing that come out into the light. And the more you just stand, regarding the baby's father, the more you stand in that and just stand, and it may feel like a bit like being a pinata, or at least the target, you're protected. It's to show them who they are, not what they say about you, right? So show them their own darkness so that they're able to heal. He who shall not be named, yes, Voldemort. We'll call it Voldemort. How does that sound? He who shall not be named. And I think a lot of us have had a person, he or she, that maybe we don't talk about or name, that has been in our space, that has done this rattling in a way because of this dishonesty or this healing that hasn't taken place in themselves. Seeing his truth. Okay, exactly. So you're seeing all of this come out into the light right now. You're protected. It's a win-win. And it's a win-win both in spirit and in the 3D. It is on what is unseen and what is seen right now. So that balance, 11-11, remember 11 is coming in. It's starting, it's being pushed from the antimatter side, right? The side that we think, oh, we'll hide it under the rug. Well, there's the thing about under the rug is that there are, it doesn't stay hidden forever, right? There's people, we're not just playing a chessboard. We are the chessboard. We are the pieces on chessboard, the spaces in between, and we are the mirrored side underneath the chessboard. So we are everything else of the chessboard. We can be the player. We can be both of the players. We could be playing, again, we're playing ourselves in a way. So all of it is coming out into the light, everything. We see all of the perspectives of ourselves, right? We see things that we can grow and heal from. We can see the way other people have grown and healed. If they're holding something or someone's holding something against somebody else, I can be honest, it's not a way that you're going to get out of samsara, whatever you want to call it, the 3D, just the 3D trap in a way. It's not going to, oh wow, there's one card actually flipped backwards in here, and it's not the one I stuck in there. I'm going to read that. It's for the collective. Apparently it was flipped backwards. So, sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. So self-respect, again, self-reflection. Also, if somebody in this has had an experience where somebody has walked away from them, a person in this group, or in this collective read, they may have walked away for reasons that they thought they deserved better, but again, they can be healing right now and be coming back in. So I feel like this is also about you, your own space, right? Walking away, sometimes walking away is the only option. There's maybe more options, but walking away or taking a seat for a minute may be a good option at the time. Nothing is permanent. I just want to bring that out. Nothing is permanent. So, okay. Still have 3 in this chat. It says 4, but I'm one of them, so I'm not counting the 4, obviously myself. I don't know who the other 3, Carol, Bucky, I don't know who the other person is. If the other person's on, if they'd like a read. If not, I'm going to put out 1 card to end the collective read. And I'm going to use a deck I have not used yet. Maybe I'll do 2 cards. So I'll do 2. We're going to do 1 from the Animal Divine deck, and then 1 of these from the Starry Beginnings one. Walking away is just showing respect for yourselves and standing up to your boundaries. It is. Once somebody keeps feeding off your own light or taking advantage, and they're not getting the lesson, right? They're not doing it, and you keep running into the fire, burning yourself to help. Walking away sometimes is the best option for them to learn, even, or at least could be looked at that way. Great news, they're coming in. Yes, things are starting to trickle in. Truth is trickling in. Healing is trickling in. People stepping into themselves, standing in themselves, in their own being a spiritual being, being teacher being a light being, a healer, a warrior, a grid worker, whatever it is, knowledge keeper, peacemaker. Peacemakers are the ones bringing the love and the balance in, right? What's peace? Bringing order, right? Dharma instead of karma. Okay. So I didn't see anybody else ask, so I'm gonna do 2 cards. I'm gonna put up 1 from here and 1 from the Starry Beginnings, and we'll go from that for the collective. And then I'll end this one. It will upload to YouTube. I will download it and re-upload it. I walked away from a 12, almost 13-year relationship because it was ruining me as a person, and I had finally just had enough. Yeah, sometimes there's no growth in it. It may not even be the other person, it's just that the energy doesn't mix, especially if we're on our path of growth. And sometimes releasing even the other person allows them to grow, and they all get the information, right? So, and we can be hurting each other and not even know it. It's just we don't resonate at the same frequency anymore, or things don't, there's no step up or step out or expansion, right? I can empathize with you with being in a 12-year marriage and saying, all right, this person isn't happy, they're not motivated, there's nothing that I can do, so I'm going to, all right, leave, like, and just do a separation. And there was amicable, there wasn't anything wrong with it. All right, she's still the same. Well, you've grown, so let's put it that way. M has been channeling light language in her sleep. Yes, light is filtering in. Karma at its best. I can go ask Karma. She's got teeth. She likes to play. She's upstairs somewhere. 7, 8-month-old German Shepherd healer mix that's humongous. She definitely has one personality, let's put it that way. Alright, so that flipped out. This one flipped out. This is... Please don't kill the messenger for me if I butcher the name, Bucky. Cochiquetzal. This is Temperance. She's the goddess of, this is 22. This is funny because it's actually a Sagittarius. It's 22. Balance. 22 is the culmination of 11, 11, and 4. Did I tell you how things played out? Maybe. You could have. And I will read to you Cochiquetzal. I will read to you 22. Sagittarius energy here. I'm a Sagittarius. My path number is actually 22. So it's all about balance. Just achieving balance, going within, and in moderation. So Quetzalcoatl's, Quetzals, flowing hair and rose represent the channeling of dynamic energy. Creativity can now flow more freely between the waters of unconsciousness and consciousness. I probably could barely say it. It is a very long name, yes. Why would you bother about pronunciation? It doesn't, but I don't want to butcher it either. The butterflies help to direct creative energies from a dormant primordial stasis to higher cognitive recognition. The wren and doves are keeper of the spirit and vehicles to transcend thinking. The flowers in the water represent fertile ideas yet to be utilized. The frog is associated with the nourishing waters and the need to resurrect after a period of stagnation. So also this phoenix energy, right? The cattails help to bridge the water and air elements, helping to emphasize the importance of integrating emotion and thought. The feathers help to alleviate burdens of an overwhelming ego. The ego has dissolved somewhat, thus allowing the mind to absorb new creative energy. The circular design reinforces the ultimate goal toward the full integration of all the aspects of self in order to achieve a sense of wholeness. Yes, Carol, I know you're a Sag too. If you haven't done your birth chart, because I don't know what day, but I did mine, the number is 11, 11, 4, and so ultimately it's 22 would be the path number on the particular day, but it's very interesting. So it coincides with temperance as well, which would include your name. When you do a birth chart, it's your full name, the time of your birth, and the date. So Quetzal is the flower and butterfly goddess whose name means flower feather. Her luminescent beauty and association with matters pertaining to love parallel the Roman goddess Venus. Quetzal is a liberating goddess of sexuality, marriage, and childbirth. She is a fecund goddess and patroness of creativity and the arts. Quetzal survived an apocalyptic flood by fleeing on a boat with a mortal. Her procreative powers enabled her to repopulate the earth with her companion. Initially, her children were unable to communicate until a dove descended upon them and provided them with the gift of language. Quetzal is a reminder that after death, life can be born anew. Her butterflies represent transformation and new beginnings. Their graceful, deliberate movements seem to transcend profane time. They flutter their harmonious dance with the earth by transferring pollen and allowing the process of renewal to proliferate. It is important to allow a higher force to cleanse us after times of great change. Sometimes life necessitates that we examine ourselves in a more objective manner. By reaching within the inner realm of our being, we can begin to create a balance between external influences and internal desires, or inner desires. It is time to move beyond the space where the ego had dominated into new planes of self-awareness. Funny thing is that as I'm reading this, it's also on page 44. So 11, 11, 22, and 44. 11's your path number. Awesome. Can you spell that name, Rose? It is spelled Xochiquetzal. I would think it was Quetzal, like Quetzalcoatl, right? Okay, so the last card, and thanks to everybody else who's in and who's watched. Maybe they're listening on their break at work, I'm not sure. And for sharing. Gary, who came in earlier, and the cards told him to go take a walk, so he just left. He's going to go meditate and walk. Yes, Quetzal. It's spelled with Quetzal is spelled Z-A-L at the end, but I would think that the spelling, I don't know if the spelling has it. It's Xochiquetzal. Alright, so I'm going to do one of these. Doesn't matter, upside down, these are Starry Night, and we're going to end them live. Like I said, I'll be on here on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I may do them at different times. I do know that you guys, some people are in different parts of the world, different time set, different, maybe late at night. So I'm going to try to hit different times. If I may actually just schedule the event when I'm done with this one for Wednesday. I may actually try to do 2 a day on one day so I can hit a morning people that maybe it's evening in your space but it's morning here for us, and then late in the evening, which will hit people that may be a little bit behind in a time zone. And then these will be redone or put up onto YouTube after it's done. It will be uploaded on there. All right. I'm going to draw one because they're not popping out. Ready? Number 2. See with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. So again, everything's coming into view. 2 being the divine, masculine, feminine energies. This is also your heart space too, right? Your head, your intuition part, your mind, and your heart. So the time is now to hear the messages. You are receiving messages for the collective, right? You're bringing the energies into balance, the creative side, the creative art, the transformation, the messages from the dove. One of my totem animals is the dove. It's also the robin. And any kind of hawk or eagle has been very much protective. So those are some of the animals that I've seen noticed around in my space as well. So you have 22 and 2, so 2, 2, 2. Temperance, which is again the balance card. I know on here it's not. I don't think her number is 22. So, but I know it's 22 is for temperance normally in a normal deck. So 22, 2. I think this one is 23, which is 5. Either way. So 2. See with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. So again, we're going into this balanced space, duality, and then coming out in the whole part of this 22, right? You're coming into this dharma. We're coming into the unity consciousness. And unity consciousness, it is what people are calling 5D, the heaven space. It's what's coming in. It's not something that's coming outside of ourselves. It is how we are sitting in it, in the energy ourselves, in the 5D, the unconditional love, right? The 5 part. 4 is time, it's still conditioned. 3D is the limitations, the matter we see, right? 2D is we only see masculine and feminine type energy, right? So we're seeing this duality come into unity is the 5D, the heart space, and beyond that, which is 6. I am aware that I have this person sitting here spamming this, so I will just block them anyway. But again, we see this. I don't even know what they're saying. Stop, saw your comment, went through your pages, passed a message to your ancestors. Yeah, okay, as we're sitting here doing that, we're seeing this balance come in, right? We're seeing this in the 3D space. We're seeing it come in because as we balance ourselves in a perception, that world changes around us. And the more people in the same station, the same radio station, in the same frequency, and the same 5D experience, the more of us that are actually manifesting on a collective scale, anchoring this heaven space in. Chetziketzel. Okay. Chiketzel. You won't pronounce the XO. Interesting. Alright, so with that, I'm going to end this live. I want to wish you all a beautiful day, morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I will schedule the next one for Wednesday. And this will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can check it out. Alright, love you guys.